Hello. Hi. Hello. Hello. So, today's guest, I think she's great. She's a pop star. There's no other way of saying it. And she's a heck of a laugh. And I know her a bit, but how well do I know her? I think I know her fairly well. Anyway, look, you can say what you want. It's Sharleen Spiteri.
Hello.
You are early. I love this.
I don't do late.
How are you?
I'm all right. I'm fine.
I should tell you we're doing it now, Charlene. We've
Yeah, no,
started. This is it.
I don't talk any different to how I would on air to how I would normally. This is me, and this is what you get.
We're not going to fall out over it.
No, we're not going to fall out over it. I don't know if anybody told you. I am doing a 2 week stint on Virgin Radio.
Yes, I know this. Yes.
I'm not kidding you. Monday, I literally had some sick in the back of my throat. I thought I was actually going to implode at one point. Oh, wait a minute. The dog is literally going, let me in. Hold on.
Oh, let's bring the dog in. What sort of a dog is she?
I'm going to show you. You're going to love. So, come here. She's like, look,
Oh,
a Welsh Terrier.
I thought that was a schnauzer. I thought you were showing me your
No.
schnauzer, but
No,
that's
she's a Welsh
actually a
Terrier.
Welsh Terrier. Oh, she's
This
beautiful.
is
Hello.
Socks. She's a lovely little thing. But she's a terrier. She's a real Torag. That's her away now. No, I always wanted a Welsh Terrier because my granddad bred wire-hair fox terriers.
Mm.
And I used to have one of those. Do you remember those little things with the wheels on them that you
Bikes.
walked? No. Do you remember the little walkie things that had a dog on them?
Oh, yes.
Do you remember those things?
Yeah.
They were all Welsh Terriers. And
Right.
I had one that was a Welsh Terrier, and I loved that. I loved that little thing more than anything. So when I was able to have my own dog, I was like, I'm having a Welsh Terrier.
The journey won't be complete until, and I hate to bring this up, Socks passes away. You have her stuffed and you stick her on some wheels.
That's actually a really good idea. I never thought of that.
You say, she's not looking very well today.
There's nothing wrong with a bit of taxidermy. But yeah, I'm doing this radio thing, right? And I
Yeah.
was talking yesterday about people talking over movies.
Oh,
But
no.
I know it was the other day I was talking about it, and I'm a BAFTA member, so I have to do my BAFTA voting. So as we all know, you get all the movies and everything, and it's like a big deal in my house. I take it really serious. So my mate Raggy, she comes round, and she turns up in her pajamas with a wee bottle of wine, couple of nibbles, and it's literally like you sit down, you watch the movie, you don't speak, you're not allowed to speak. You can't go, so this other friend of ours, right? And then when the movie finishes, she gets her stuff together, leaves, and we discuss it the next day. That's what we do. This is the rule that we work on. So our friend Gillian's been my friend since I was 14 years old. And she kept saying, oh, I really want to come when you're doing the movies. And we're like, no, you can't come. She's like, why? We're like, because you talk and you're not allowed to talk. And, let's be honest, I'm not shy of talking myself. And we said, you can't, yeah, I promise I won't talk. And we were like, so we sit down, and it was the year that Brokeback Mountain was in the BAFTAs. And we're sitting there, and the movie's, I mean, it's tense. You're like, it's this love story, and so what's happened is it's just the moment where they've just made love to each other, and they're sitting round the campfire the next morning, and they're kind of cooking breakfast, and you're like going, oh my God, this is so tense. They don't know, they're questioning themselves. They're like, why am I having this relationship with this man, and what does this mean? And it's physical, it's not just mental anymore. And we're sitting there like this. Out of the blue, my mate Gillian just goes, I love beans. Do you like beans? I really We were like, how do you get? I was like, okay, it's a campfire and there's a pot.
Yeah.
where in that space
Yeah.
of that
Well,
emotion and that feeling did you suddenly get to, do you like beans?
but I think that you get to an age, and I used to do a bit about this in my stand-up, as many have, because I saw a clip the other day of Dave Allen doing exactly the same thing, because it's an observation, which is
Oh, I
you'll
love
get
Dave
to an
Allen.
age where you
Yeah, I love him.
start to make those observations. You can be watching something and go, "Oh, hasn't your cousin got that jumper?" And that's what Gillian. That's what, and I am slowly starting. Now, my rule is no talking. And when we're at home and I'm watching, I'm the one that'll go, shh, let's just enjoy this. But I'm also now fighting against my natural evolution as a human, which is to say, oh, that's an Audi, isn't it? Now, who's got an Audi like that?
Uncle Bryn's very like that. He literally just says things that you literally you're thinking, and he just says it, and you're cracking up when that happens. I mean, it's
What he
literally
said
like,
in when he talked about watching the Sex and the City, was it the movie or something? And didn't he say
yeah,
something like that? Kim Cattrall, she seems like an absolute hoot.
you're just like going, literally, but it's like it's genius just the way it goes in, because you're watching everybody else, and suddenly Uncle Bryn just comes in with
Yes.
those moments of absolute like,
Yeah.
gut. It's attached, but it's got
Yeah.
nothing to do with anybody else talking about or thinking. But
It's
yeah,
a
so that was
lovely thing to get
Gillian
to
and
say.
her
Right.
beans.
But I wanted to, when you said about going to London, now you'd lived in Paris, but you said it was about 26, 27 years ago you went to London, because I think that was roughly when I went to London, around about that time. And
Right.
the thing that really made a big impression on me was that they had a lot of the national stations in FM, which we didn't have in Wales. So you could be in the
Yeah.
car in London and you'd have Capital Radio, but
Yeah,
it
everything.
meant you could hear Simon Bates in FM. So that the our tune in FM in a car, where I'd only ever heard it in AM. And it
Yeah.
just seemed that London was in stereo and it was in colour.
Technology has moved so fast. I mean, I remember like when we made our first record, our managers giving us the phone to go to the studio, and literally you had that big bloody brick that you're carrying with a giant aerial on it, and you're
Yeah.
literally like, you thought you were the bee's knees with this big mobile phone, and you were like, you had to put the big battery pack that was like about that size down and be like, hello, and oh my God, it's weird.
Hey, you must have seen that clip of Bowie back in the day, the early days of the internet, and he's being interviewed by Jeremy Paxman, and he is so prophetic. He says we're just, it's the tip of the iceberg, and you should look this up. And he is, and Paxman says, oh, it's just a way of communicating, isn't it? And he goes, no, it's so much
No,
more. And he was ahead of the curve there. He could
yeah.
see.
It's a really weird one. I remember in 1989 going to dinner with one of the heads of my record company. He was my publisher at that point in France. I remember he said, "Oh no, there'll be a pub where you won't buy records. You will literally press the button on your computer, and literally the record will come to you with the sleeve on it and the this and all the information." And we were like, "You nutter!" That was 1989.
How has that changed people's relationship with music? Because when I was growing up, and I'm sure it was the same for you, you maybe could afford to buy one single a week and you would choose it, and it was a thing. And
Yeah.
and you valued it, and it was a tangible thing. And if you got an album, even more tangible, and it meant something, and you had to look after it. You couldn't just get the music. You could tape the top 40, right, and try and avoid
Yeah.
the DJ at the beginning and the end.
Oh yeah,
Now,
we were good at that, weren't we?
yeah. You
Oh,
didn't
I was
want to
an
get the
expert at
DJ.
it.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. Me too. I've still got some of those cassettes. But
So have I.
how has it changed the public, not the public, human beings' relationship with music and artists?
There's people of our age, and there's me as a songwriter and musician. And when we make an album, when Johnny, who's my songwriting partner and the bass player in Texas, when we make an album and we're writing an album and then we're doing the running order, we still in our brains have an A side and a B side.
Yeah.
So we still do that. Oh yeah, okay, so you get that. That's the first part of the journey. Breathe, second part of the album, and where do we take them on the set? So we still make records in that sense. And then there's the generation that is like, I would say, the 30 somethings, that basically really were that generation where they started. They were the beginning of streaming and getting all that stuff, and their brains are just like goes really really fast, and it's like I always refer to it as like that's a buffet culture of a bit of that, a bit of that, of a bit of
Yeah,
that, a bit of that. Did
yeah,
that really go together? Did that taste that good?
yeah.
No, not really. Dad literally had so many like arguments with record companies and saying, you guys had better be careful because you're killing the album. And if you kill the album, if you kill that journey, you're going to kill what is the most important thing to a record company is the songs and the
Mm,
music and catalog. And if you don't build artists, you'll not have catalog. You've got loads of catalog, but you can't live on that forever. If a band can't, when we were at the height of Texas, we were releasing 5 singles off one album. People are lucky if they get 2 singles off an album now. But the reason that is because when you get an album, you never like track 5, you never like track 7. 3 weeks in, track 5 and track 7, you're going, oh my God, I love those songs. I
yeah,
do it. I'm a fan. I
yeah,
love music.
yeah.
But there's a young generation that's coming through now that has discovered vinyl. And everybody's releasing vinyl now. Like we've always released
Mm.
vinyl. Like even when people didn't want it, we still did vinyl. But young bands are doing vinyl. Everyone's doing vinyl. We even have started redoing. We do a tape.
People probably don't know, but we've sung quite a few times together. The last time was Chris, the mighty, the ferocious Chris Evans, and his festival CarFest that he puts on.
Yeah.
Astonishing. We just love it. It was the first time we'd been. I mean, he's a force of nature if ever there was one. But
Oh, he's amazing.
he's an astonishing person, right? But he puts on this wonderful festival, and we went there, and I was going to do a song as Uncle Brydon. I sang with Sophie Ellis-Bextor. It was all lovely. But Texas were on, so we're there for the weekend. So for Texas, we're right down by the front. But I hadn't seen you, and then there you are. You're on stage, and tell the boys and girls what you did without any warning.
Oh, I saw you and I was like, get up, come up, get on the stage.
And there's a lot of people. There are about 30,000 people or something, weren't there?
Yeah, you know what? It's weird because I don't know if you feel this way. Sometimes it's really strange because when I'm on stage and there's like thousands of people, I still feel that we're in my kitchen. Do you know what I mean? But I feel that all those people are in my kitchen as well, and I'm a bit like, all right, some people can't see Rob, but I can see you right in front of me. And they're like, oh my God, they'll love this. They'll love if Rob just gets up and does this. They'll love it. Oh my God, everybody loves Brydon. So like, get him up on the stage and get him to come and do a song. And because we had sung so many times together, that I just thought, well, we know that it works. We know how to do it. And I
Yeah.
thought, it's not like I'm suddenly just saying to him, like I'm a complete stranger and saying, Rob Brydon, come on up and sing with me.
So we sang Suspicious Minds, didn't we?
We did.
Suspicious Minds, because we both
But
love Elvis.
yeah, we do. You are so good at doing Elvis. You're so good at doing, you're great at doing Tom Jones. You're great at doing Elvis. Even when you do Ronnie Corbett for me, because I'm like, I've got such a little penchant for Don Corbetto. I just
Don
think,
Corvetto. Well, it's true to say, I, I ruled Glasgow and Edinburgh with an iron fist.
oh my God.
Oh, I've not told you. The thing I've done that I was doing when the pandemic hit was I got a 9-piece band together and I did a show of stories and songs. And
No.
I'm going back out with it in the autumn. Would you come and sing a song with me, with my band? Playing
Yeah.
We're doing the Palladium in November. So that
Fabulous.
would
Count
be.
me in. I'm literally I'm feeling that big time.
Listen, this has been lovely. I've taken up your time. I've taken up Socks's time. Thank you for doing this. It's lovely. I can't wait to see you, and all my love.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, how polite. Well brought up. Bye bye.